Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. The Fremantle Dockers continue to build. They got the job done. It wasn't spectacular yesterday, Bill Brownless, but you can't fault the way their first half of the season has played out.
No doubt about that. There's the score there. 40-point win. Only 6 goals kicked by the Brisbane Lions. So Rossi Lyon, the super coach, has certainly tightened up that defence. Hard to kick goals against there. And great pleasure to introduce the Fremantle coach, Ross Lyon, with us. Hey, Roscoe, well done yesterday. It wasn't the greatest game to watch, but a really, really good win in the end. What do you say to the boys after the game?
Oh, look, plenty to improve on. At the halfway mark, we find ourselves in a solid position, but we know it's really about our next game against North Melbourne from here. So we moved on really quickly. We're a bit disappointed overall, but we take the 4 points.
Do you have to look at that forward line, mate? Your major goal kickers yesterday were Main with 2 and Mundy and Johnson, guys running down and kicking goals on the run. Do you have to try and work that out to what's best for Fremantle?
Yeah, really good point, Billy. Look, we had a spread of 9 goal kickers, which is really quite solid, but we're struggling to get a forward to kick multiple goals, so we'll keep working on that. Michael Walters is a really good chance to return, and Matthew Pavlich and Aaron shouldn't be too far behind. So we've found the way most of the year, but yeah, we'd love a power forward back in kicking a bag, no doubt.
Ross, is the team you've got now good enough to win this year's premiership?
Well, it's not something I've really thought of. It's certainly our aim, and it's a possibility. And look, at the start of the year, there was 18 teams with that possibility. I think the season's filled it out, 5 or 6 that, you know, will struggle to make the 8 from here. So we're alive and well and building. But, you know, that future possibility, you've got to take care of the present and the games in front of you. You've got to earn the right to get to the finals and earn a right for a double chance. And then from there, it moves really quickly. So we're just focusing on, you know, every session and every game because that's what gets it done.
Ross, September action is just about assured if you win probably 4 out of your last remaining games. What do you need to do that you're not doing right now come September? Well,
you can't play in September till you get there. It's sorry to be boring, but, I mean, Essendon are a really good model for us. They were 8-2 last year and everyone had them penciled in. And then there's a lot of things can conspire against you, injury form and opposition. So we need to continue to improve our clearance work. At the halfway mark, we didn't analyse our clearance work was down. Certainly our ability to get the ball back off the opposition and score is quite solid. So mainly our clearance work and our efficiency, we rank quite low, you know, scoring off entry compared to the rest of the competition. So you guys have highlighted it, we're aware of it, but certainly our ability to restrict opposition keeps us in it until we can sort of fix that end of it, which last year we did. You know, we were a top 4 scoring team in the second half of the year as well as defence. So we know we can do it, we just need to improve.
Ross, you touched on Sandilands and Pavlich. Do you have to be careful not to bring them back around the same time, just in terms of how many players you can bring back that are actually underdone?
No, there's a couple of things at work here. The players, the incumbents, are getting the job done, so we're really respectful of that. The other thing is they've missed a huge block of football. We want to make sure that we've given them a hard enough training block to come in and play. We don't really want them to have to build too much into form. So it's going to be, if they've done like a mini pre-season, they can hit the ground running. So they're in full training this week, and from there it's probably going to be a couple of week build and then some decisions.
Ross, a player that showed wonderful improvement is Lee Spur. You must be very happy with what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a credit. I know Lloyd is on the panel, but you know, Brad, his brother, heads up our recruiting department, and their ability to find mature age players like Michael Barlow and Lee Spur. He came from Centrals. It's a surprise he hasn't been in the system previously and played. He's a beautiful kick, great speed, endurance, and as hard as nails. So he's replaced Adam McPhee and played to a really high level, so we're thrilled with him.
Ross, a couple off beam before we look at yesterday's game. You got a chance to catch up with your old colleagues or players, I guess, after Lee Montagna's 200th game recently, which was great to see.
Oh, a couple of frothies.
Do you feel for what those older St Kilda players are going through now and the struggles of the team and the inevitability that they may have missed that moment?
I haven't thought about it too much, to be honest. You're right, that was a private moment, Hutchie, that I really enjoyed. So, look, certainly when you work hard together as a group and, you know, you go to levels they went to, you have strong relationships, and it's great at opportune times to be able to share some time with those guys. You know, how I feel about them will never diminish, but I'm really happy and moved on. They're really happy and moved on, and that's where it sits.
And earlier in the season, you sought out Alistair Clarkson to assure him that you weren't interested in Lance Franklin. Given the likelihood that Harry Taylor's off the market and everyone needs a forward, was it a wise thing to do at the time? Do you think?
But Harry signed, has he?
Yeah, he has. Roscoe, he's signed. He's done. He's signed with the Cats.
Can I ask, why wouldn't you be interested in Lance Franklin, Ross, given your forward line situation?
Oh, look, as I said back then, it's not just my decision. It's a list management decision headed up again by Brad, and our president and CEO sit in the list management committee along with Ben Allen and Stephen O'Reilly. So it's a collective decision, and our priorities, we're an emerging playing group. We're a relatively young list, and we've got players like Fife and Hill, those guys and Walters that we've secured and we want to continue to secure. So the first port is look after our guys at home and grow our list, and then look for opportunities that won't put the rest of the list under pressure.
So you don't think you can afford what it'd take?
We'd certainly made a decision not to go after Buddy, and there was a lot of hype in the newspapers, and I just felt I was in a position to ring Alistair. And look, at the end of the day, I didn't want to get caught up in conversations like this all year like we did with Travis Cloak. I didn't really enjoy that from my perspective, but it was the right thing for the club. But certainly when we're not in it, we wanted to disassociate ourselves with that happening. So, I mean, if that was the change, I'd pick up the phone and ring Alistair, and it probably wouldn't be a great conversation, but as it stands, the position's the same.
OK, mate, let's have a look at the game yesterday. 33,000 there at Patterson Stadium, and Fremantle were good early, but as soon as it went down forward there for Brisbane, Jordan Lyle, who kicked 3 goals, he can certainly mark. He's a good clunker of the ball and kicked OK yesterday. 3 goals out of 6, it wasn't a bad thing. But it was this running game here they got going, Fremantle, and did it pretty well in the end. There's Chris Mayne, who was also good. They led by only 9 points at quarter time, 24 points at three-quarter time, and won by 40. It was a really tough game, Roscoe, because a very, very young Brisbane Lions side, and they were really hard to shake.
Yeah, they had a huge crack, Billy. I think in the second quarter they laid 20 tackles to our 9, so that was a talking point at half-time. Look, it was a bit of an odd game. We watched the Collingwood game, and they got numbers back and protect the young defence, so we're always going to have to overuse the football, and I would have liked us to be a bit slicker and a bit more chemistry, but you know, it panned out the way it did, and in the end we fixed some things at three-quarter time, and 9 shots to 2 in the last quarter. We'll take that and we'll move on. Yeah,
there's David Mundy. We just saw him on screen here, mate. If he was playing over here in Victoria, he would be a genuine superstar. Is that a fair call?
Yeah, look, he's a top-flight AFL midfielder. He won a BNF in 2010, and then when I arrived, he'd had a syndesmosis operation and then a stress fracture. So all last year he was building. We saw his best at the back end of last year, and he's continued in the same vein. So he's a real team driver, and I thought he was exceptional yesterday.
The other one is Michael Barlow, who was exceptional as well. We have a rolling All-Australian team here, conducted by Matthew Lloyd, Roscoe. Each week up to date. Not even on Matthew Lloyd's radar at the moment, Michael Barlow. Are we missing it from a distance?
Well, he only rates the power forwards, mate.
No, I've got Fife and I've got Luke McFarlane in so far, and there could be another one who joins him from the Fremantle Dockers this weekend.
Have to be Monday.
And just one other one, Daniel Pearce. Are you happy with the way he's fitted into your system, Ross?
Absolutely thrilled. I thought he was one of the players covering the ground with a fair bit of speed yesterday. He's just added to the total mix in the midfield. You need a number of them. And more importantly, he's really adopted the principles that we stand by, and he really working hard for his teammates, so he's earned a lot of respect, and I think it was a great acquisition by, again, the List Management Committee.
The Prime Minister was at Fremantle during the week. Roscoe, did you get to see her and have a chat? I've got a photo up now of her and Pav, but did you call her in your office?
No, I didn't get wheeled out to Coburn, Billy. They've got bigger names over here than the coach, so... But we're thrilled with the $10 million cheque she dropped off. It was a fantastic contribution.
Well done, mate. Here's the votes. You can agree or disagree, but David Mundy is outstanding. I love the way he goes about it. Beautiful kick on goal for the kids watching out there. Watch him kick a goal. Barlow, Garrick Ibbotson, very, very good player. And Michael Johnson, I love the way that you got him running down the ground. Now,
Ross, congratulations on the work you're doing over there. We're all looking forward to seeing what the Dockers have got in the second half of the year, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Hutchie. Cheers.
I'm worried.
Ross Lyon in really good form this morning, no doubt about it.